Well, that Grubhub call got us thinking. It's a great time to be a couch potato. Forget Netflix and chill. Look at all the different options we have for the ultimate night in. So after tonight's show, our traders are going to head home. They're going to kick off their shoes, cozy up to their favorite stay-at-home stocks. So, Tim, how are you spending this chilly November?
I tell you what, it's chilly. The first thing I'm going to do, Mel? I'm going to go home and crack a bottle.
Whoa.
Hopefully I didn't crack it on the desk. 5:31. It's going to be time to take out a bourbon and kick back and think about what I wanted to do this weekend. And it's interesting, we were talking about promiscuous dining. I tell you what, I think my weekend stay-at-home stock is Match. And I know this sounds a little naughty, but I mean,
wife's away, kids are gone.
Well, again, there better not be promiscuous dining at my house. But my view on this is, look, we've seen kind of the secular move into online dating services. I think Match went through the roof, and it caught some sense of things had turned around. But that third quarter number of $541 million in revenues, the sense that they have these new projects, whether it's Hinge, Guy, there's a couple new properties, by the way, with record downloads, and you might want to take a look. Hinge and OkCupid, which has massive growth in India. I mean, this is a company that is global. The growth is there, and if you want to stay home and swipe right,
this is the most research I've ever heard Tim Match stock.
Or was it? Did he need to research this? Is the question.
I don't know. It feels like he's living it. Good job, Tim.
What's this Hinge?
How you doing?
Hinge. What's
like
the Hinge?
Mash. This is a dating service.
Hinge. The Hinge.
Hinge.
Is it just Hinge? No, it's like Eagles, not the Eagles.
2 million downloads already this year.
Right.
Way too much information.
Let's switch to Mills here.
I know what I'm doing.
Okay, so this is a teddy bear. They are all over my. It's my teddy bear. They're all over my house. I have 3 kids. They're all girls. They're all 6 and younger. So if anyone should be drinking, Tim, with all due respect, it should be me.
You know what? I'm going to pass this over to you,
I must say. But the next best option is to have them sitting in front of the TV, happy, not talking. So I'm going to go with Disney. We all saw the Disney Plus release. 10 million subscribers. I think the outlook was for something like 8 million through the end of the year. So those are big numbers. I think there's more growth there, both domestically, internationally, but the stock basically went vertical after you got that big subs number, right? So I wouldn't necessarily buy it here. You have a big gap at about 135, so I would look to 135 to 130 to buy, but I like the story long term.
Grasso, what are you going to do
So I'm going to snuggle up.
Whoa!
And I have a few kids of my own, and I'm going to do some gaming. I'm going to wind up playing a little Xbox, playing a little PlayStation, and you know what processor are in those? AMD.
Come on.
AMD, and all of their processing units are growing. This one is overbought. It's up 108%, but it's still going higher.
It's like a cozy blanket.
It's a nice blanket.
I can't think of anything cozier.
I would have had you in leopard, Steve.
Like that.
I got something cozier.
Cozier than that cozy blanket?
100%.
What would that be?
Well, the Mr. Rogers movie is coming out. You familiar with the Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
So when he would come into his little home, he'd put a sweater on, and he'd put his slippers on.
Right.
The Mr. Rogers. When I was a kid, I used to watch that. Tom Hanks' portrayal, I hear, is Oscar worthy. But what a lot of people don't know is that the Mr. Rogers also like the Chipotle Mexican Grill, the CMG. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
And the stock sold off in a meaningful way after earnings back in October. I think it sold off enough where you can dip your toes. So tonight I'll be wearing my reindeer slippers. I had to make sure what they were.
Is your foot size 6?
Women's. Size 6 women's.
I mean, I'm just sorry, man. I'm sorry.
No, you're not sorry.
Keep going.
You think it's fine. My feet are what they
adorable.
are.
They're dainty.
They're adorable.
They're dancers' feet.
Good for you. Love them.
All right.
I've forgotten what your pick is.
CMG.
Yes.
The Mr. Rogers pick.
Nice
Right.
work.
Yeah. Any thoughts on each other's trades?
Well, I'll tell you what, I actually think, Steve, outside of his blanket, I like what he's doing on the gaming. I love Activision. I think if you think about both the stock in terms of how it's stabilized, I think the earnings multiple around 21 times. I certainly think you've got a dynamic in their pipeline that you actually have some tailwinds after some really difficult comps. It's a name I'm long, so I'm big into gaming, and that's all the kids are doing.
Yeah. How about CMG?
I don't know about CMG. I think you have a little bit of a reversion back on this one. I don't know, burritos. You like burritos, right?
I love them. No
He's
beans.
a big burrito guy.
No tomatoes.
The guy needs to be at home when he's having.
You have no idea.
You need the multiple prepare stations, and not all the franchise have them, so you're waiting in line. So I don't know. I think it's run its course, due for a pullback.
Do you have circulation in your feet right now?
No, I can't feel my toes.
He actually hacked off all of his toes. That's why he looks so
No, I mean, the
small.
things I do for the show, it's the craziest. Now I got to show them again. I mean, it's the craziest thing what
This
they
is
make
what
me
we-
do. I
this
mean,
is
this
what
is
we do.
Those are your slippers. You brought them in.
Well, you don't have to
Pass
tell
this
people
down to
that.
Guy,
I mean,
please.
that's not right.
I
I mean,
mean-
that's
All
just
right.
not right, Mel.